Hello everyone and welcome to the Transit Nomad family. In this video we are going to be checking out the coolest train station in Belgium and also seeing what happens when public transport is done right. Before we get started, I'd like to let you know that I'm in Belgium for a couple of weeks, and at the end of this trip I'll be recording my final verdict video comparing Belgium with other countries to help you decide if you should visit, while also saving you lots of time and money with practical tips on how to get the most out of your trip. This will be an exclusive video, but you can easily gain access to it by subscribing or donating any amount on buymeacoffee.com/transitnomad or through the link in the video description below. With that being said, let's begin exploring this train station. As we just got off the train here, this is the train that took us from the area around Brussels to Antwerp. That is where we are located right now. It was definitely a very comfortable, quiet ride. We got lucky, we didn't have too many people around us, and it was a two-floor train with comfortable seats and very scenic views. I highly recommend trying out different kinds of trains in Belgium. It's definitely a great experience, especially if you are here for the first time. So this is what the station platform looks like. I'm not sure where exactly we are heading right now, but everyone is going in that direction, so I guess we're gonna join them and see where that path leads us. From here you can also see a little bit of the view of some of the other platforms and some of the other trains. I can hear a train, I can't see it. Lots of signs in Belgium are not in English, keep that in mind. It's not always easy to understand what's going on following their signs. If you don't speak their languages like French or Dutch, might be a challenge. Keep that in mind. I saw the pictures of this station online and it seemed so impressive and so beautiful, both exterior and interior wise. I am so excited to check out this station. Wow, look at that building. Ay, ay, ay. So cool. That is really one of the most beautiful train stations I've ever seen in my entire life. I've been to lots of train stations throughout the years. Let's zoom it in a little bit. You can see the name of the station. It's called Antwerpen-Centraal, I believe, or Antwerpen-Centraal. They really did a good job designing this. Whoever designed this station, nice work. Very well done. Lots of detail and very cool environment. And also it's kind of huge. Well, that definitely needs to be big because it is a train station. But the scale of this, I'm not sure you can tell from the video, but it really is kind of big. And also it looks like they have multiple stories for trains. They have trains underground and they have trains on the ground. So they have like multiple levels. You can see a train going over there. You can see the train on the down level about to stop. Stopping right now. And then you can see this other level, the second level. Right now we're on the third level, and There is also a fourth level. I wonder how many levels they have. It looks like they have 4 levels. 4 levels of trains at this station. Let's go. Oh, there's a 5th level. Maybe. Let's go ahead and take a look. They have at least 4 different levels at this station. Wow. It's not something you see every day. And this is one of the top things to do in Antwerp whenever you start doing research on what to do in this city. If it's worth visiting, this train station is always ranking as one of the top destinations. And I can definitely agree with those statements. It's definitely a very cool place to check out, especially if you're a transit lover. It's no brainer. We will also be looking at the transfer hub outside the station a little bit later in the video. You can see all those buses going there. That's why I was saying in the beginning, I want to see what happens when public transport is done right, when it's convenient for people to get to the train station and leave the train station and transfer from buses to trains. Definitely we want to show it to you guys as well so that we can learn from that in the United States, because we don't always do very good transfer hubs over there. So this looks like the highest level. And it's cool that they still have these really old school signs. I'm gonna zoom it in a little bit. Take a look at that. This is really old school, but it totally works and nothing wrong with that. I just wish it were a little bit more in English, because it's really difficult to pronounce or memorize some of those names, and some of them the Google Maps will tell you a different name from what you see on that screen. So it's a little bit sometimes not very straightforward in terms of figuring out which train to take or where to go. There are some places where it's a little bit more straightforward. They just give you the Italian name and the English name, or they only have the English name, or they have the train number. But you can see in this case it says Bestming Artspur Ur. I don't know what that means. Keep that in mind if you plan on traveling to Belgium. It is not an English speaking country. Some people speak English, but most signs are gonna be in French or Dutch. So don't be expecting the convenience of visiting London or visiting some other European or Asian cities. They often offer English translations, but not here, not in Brussels. I don't know if it's because they hate English, or because they are so proud of their language, or because they think tourists don't need to know where to go. They don't want the tourists to be here. I'm not sure, but all of these reasons, they are not very good. I hope that in the future things get better, but I don't always feel very welcome if I don't understand where I'm going, what I'm doing, and it doesn't look like they did any effort, or they did enough effort to make tourists feel welcome in terms of the English signs and directions and things like that. Even their transit app, SNBC or SNCB, is very complex, and they give you all these logos for different transit agencies. So before you are boarding a specific bus or a specific train, you're supposed to know which transit agency you're traveling with, and you're supposed to know their logo. Well, how in the hell am I supposed to know that? I have no idea what agency this is. Well, now I know. You see this like oval B? There is a B there. It's covered by the pipe, but the logo is at the front of the train. So before you board any vehicle, you need to know what their logo is, and then you need to tap on that logo in their transit app. Otherwise, you might get fined, or I don't know what's gonna happen. But it is kind of, and when you transfer from one train to another train or another bus or tram, you also have to choose another logo, and you're supposed to know which one is for what. I don't know why they are expecting people to know that if we are not locals. But they did design a very beautiful train station, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to check it out. And also I'm grateful for the 50% discount when it comes to train travel on weekends. It's approximately 50% less as long as you buy a round-trip ticket back to your origin of your journey. And I think it is a good value considering that train tickets are not very cheap. Even with the discount, I paid almost 20 euros to get here. And that is with the discount. Without the discount, it would be almost double. And that is for 2 people though. For 1 person, it would be around 10 euros for a roughly 30-minute train journey from the Brussels area. It could be worse, but it could be better. I've been to lots of different countries where traveling by regional trains is a lot more affordable, but it is a high-income country, so it makes sense that trains are not very cheap. Now I would like to invite you to go over to that area in the middle. Maybe we can take a look from there. You can see a lot of people trying to take photos, as this is one of the biggest landmarks in the area. And here we get a pretty cool view of the entire area, covering all different levels from the bottom level to the top level. Making sure my partner saw me. And you can see the train departing on the lowest level. That train just departed on the lowest level, and it looks like there might be another train departing on the highest level too. That is pretty cool how they designed these levels. Trendy pictures, no? I also noticed a lot of graffiti or street art on many Belgian trains. I'm not sure why it's so common here, but this train looks clean. It's definitely one of the cleanest trains I've seen. Maybe they do it more near Brussels and less over here, I'm not sure. But generally speaking, the trains are pretty good looking, but they are also fairly basic. They do have European outlets, but no USB outlets, only regular European outlets, which is still a good thing. The seats are fairly comfortable, as you saw in the beginning of the video. We can also take a look over here. They do not recline or anything, but they still give you a fairly comfortable ride for a regional train. Of course, it's nothing like the leather seats in the old school trains, but it's still better than plastic seats. Some of the trains are pretty short, as you can see, some are longer. Sometimes they have like sets of 2 of these shorter trains, making a longer train. You can walk between carriages, and they do have some toilets, which is great as well. Some information signs, however, mostly not in English. Keep that in mind. I'm curious what it looks like on the outside as well, so perhaps we should take a little walk and check out the exterior. This looks like the escalator that goes to the first level. Seems like my partner wants to stay a little bit longer over there, so maybe I should let her know that I'm gonna go and come back. Jackie, I'm gonna meet you in 10 minutes. We have some stores here, some vendors selling things, some people waiting for trains. Not enough seating area, obviously, because people have to sit on these things. I don't know if these are designated seats or something else. But it's good to have some seating areas at train stations. When you're waiting for the train or you're waiting for someone, you can go to inside that Starbucks. But not everyone wants to buy something, so it's good to have general seating. That's one thing they could do better, unless maybe I didn't see that yet. Now here we have a bus stop right outside the station, which is a good thing. And they also have different platforms for bus stops. This particular one, it says Perron 10. I assume that means bus stop number 10 or platform 10 or bay 10. And you can see line 17, 20, 21, 32 stopping at this location. There is also a schedule for all the bus lines here with specific departure times for every line, which is very, very convenient. That is what it should be. They have this bike lane. You have to watch out for bikes. And we can see bus number 21 coming in here. This is Belgium Transit Agency, another transit agency. When you're in Belgium, you have to learn the logos. It's like a logo learning challenge, so that you can use their transit app to pay for transit. You can see this street is full of life. Lots of people are hanging out here, traveling, exploring city streets. It's just a short little walk from here to the main part of the city center, shopping, cafes, galleries, and all that stuff. And we can take a look at the exterior of this building. It is very impressive indeed. I might even have to cross the street so we can see the whole scale of the building. If you are walking around, it definitely is a little bit annoying having all these bicycles passing by so quickly, but it is something that we have to get used to. We don't see that a lot in the United States, but in Europe, bicycles are a very popular way for traveling and getting around. And it is very environmentally friendly, and it's good for your health, and it is super convenient too, if there is infrastructure for it. So I don't have anything against that, but it is definitely something that you should watch out for. Don't go into the bike lanes. Respect their lanes, respect their space. You can see bus number 17 departing. People just got off. It's only a 10-second walk to get inside the train station, which makes it super convenient. Oh, there's a car in the way of the bus. And the car is driving on the sidewalk. It doesn't look like the bus wanted to go around the car. Definitely, he just wanted the car to leave. And the car was trying to stay there longer, just give him the space to go around, but the bus driver wanted to keep going straight without having to go around the car. All right, very impressive station. Let's go around the side of the building and see what's on the side. I'm so glad the weather is not too hot today. The last few days have been extremely hot, over 30 degrees Celsius, and sunny, and if you're out all day, you definitely feel that warmth around you. So it's very nice to have this kind of comfortable weather, not too hot, not too cold. And here we see another entrance to the station, and we see the trams. Oh, and we are looking at the older PCC tram on line number 12, just departing. That is not an easy catch, I believe. From what I've been told, the PCC trams are being phased out in this city, and they are being replaced by newer trams. So that old PCC tram is something I was hoping to ride today. I really hope I can catch this later on and maybe also record that ride and share it with you guys. These are now considered historic vintage transit vehicles, and they are going to be more and more difficult to catch in 2025 and from now on. So definitely a piece of history right there. We can also see another bus waiting and departing right now. It's very good to have lots of different lines merging in this location so that it doesn't matter where you need to go, you can get there. With bus schedules posted, it's easy to know when your bus is going to arrive or depart. The driver was kind enough to let this guy in. That's great. And you can see the Belgian bus design. Pretty cool. And now we are looking at the other side of the station. I'm not sure which one is the front, which one is the side. They both look pretty awesome. Both look pretty impressive. I just wish they had more digital signs with estimated bus arrival times. They do have it at some bus stops, but not all bus stops. And this is an extra step that you can take to make transit more attractive and easier to navigate so that you don't have to look at the schedule. Although personally speaking, looking at the schedule, if you know how to read it, it doesn't take long. Just look at the schedule. It takes like maybe, I don't know, 10 seconds. It's not that big of a deal, especially when frequencies are not too long. That is another thing that is a plus. In many European countries, bus frequencies are rather short, so you don't have to wait for your specific bus for too long, like you do in the United States. And also in the United States, bus stops often don't have any information at all. It's just a pole with a number listed on it, and there's no way to know when your bus is gonna come unless you download some app or try to do some research or text some number. And it is certainly more complicated than it should be, especially for people who don't use transit every day. As we walk inside the station, it's also very impressive. It reminds me of a cool looking church. I do see a little bench over there. I wish there were more benches. They could definitely use more seating. But still, even without seating, this is an architectural masterpiece, and I'm very glad I made the trip to come and check it out. Later I'm gonna go and explore this city, Antwerp. It's supposed to be an interesting city to explore. I will be sharing videos on it on my channel, as well as videos on Brussels and other destinations in Belgium with some travel tips, places to visit, things to do, with a focus on public transportation. Feel free to subscribe to make sure you don't miss those, as well as lots of content on other cities. And keep in mind that as an active traveler and business owner with experience, I might be able to assist you with trip planning, life coaching, and business consulting, with all the details available at buymeacoffee.com/transitnomad, or through the link in the video description below. This is where you can also find lots of exclusive content on many different cities across the globe, my secret tips, PDF guides, and the option to request a custom video on any topic that matters to you. Thank you everyone for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.